First Psychotic Gaming here with Mike Pollock and my friend TonyGreen.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, there's Mike Pollock for you. He voiced and Sonic X. I believe he was Dr.Eggman. Am I correct?
As far as I know, yes.
And I also know that he voiced in some Pokemon shows and Yu-Gi-Oh! And some other shows that I kind of skimmed through real quick, and those are the ones that I saw and picked out.
Those are the highlights,
But anywho, what was it like doing your first voice acting job?
It was really cool. I had worked in radio a long time before that, so I was no stranger to being behind the microphone, but being actually part of a cartoon was a kind of different experience. It's all the same as, for example, reading commercials is the same thing with scripts and stuff, but especially with Sonic X and some of the other shows with dubbing, it's a different technological process of trying to watch the screen and trying to match lip flap
Oh,
the first
man.
time. But I kind of figured it out, which I thought was even cooler.
Cool.
That is pretty interesting. Antonio, do you have anything to say?
Let's see. So the lip flaps and all that was complicated. Was it like back then? Wasn't it like you had like a script and you had like to watch the screen, and now it's like a tablet, isn't it? Like some like digital thing.
Depends on the place. Some places are still paper based. I prefer the tablet places because as my eyes get older and need reading glasses, it's easier just to make the type bigger by pinching on the screen. But yeah, either way, the script technology is less important than the recording technology.
Mhm.
And these days, with everything being digital, the actor doesn't have to work as hard because I can record a line and they can either try and make it fit by having me redo it, or they can do a lot of editing with pinching and squeezing and stretching and editing and stuff. So usually they prefer to have me do it right the first time, and they'll give me a couple of chances. But sometimes they'll say, let's see if we can make that work. And very often they can.
Cool.
Okay.
Chase.
I hope my Skype recorder is working because it's not showing us. It's not picking up, I guess, right? Because it's not showing the voice level. But it says it's counting down and recording it, so I hope it's going great. But
if not, we're having a great time talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah, if not, then it's cool. But anywho, how did you get involved in voice acting? Like, how did it all start?
It grew out of my love of theater and my love of radio. And when I was growing up, I figured that the life of an actor with short-term jobs and constantly searching for them was not a great choice. So I decided to go for the slightly more stable world of radio, even though radio is also notorious for people being fired a lot. But I had fairly good luck with being able to hold down a couple of jobs. But when the radio industry changed and decided it didn't need me anymore, I fell back on my acting stuff. I kept up in my acting during radio for community theater stuff, but eventually I realized, there's a whole world of voiceover and voice acting in cartoons and commercials and other stuff that I can proceed with now that radio is no longer a thing. So I transitioned into first the cartoon stuff, and then I took a little more coaching to make sure I could compete in the commercial world, and I've been doing all sorts of cartoons, commercials, corporate narrations, promos, e-learning, video games, all sorts of wonderful, varied things.
Okay, what was your very first voiceover, and what was your best memory from that?
The first one kind of happened accidentally. We could count the high school radio things that I did, but I wouldn't count them. They weren't great. But the local college had a high school radio program where high schoolers could put stuff on audio tape, reel to reel at the time, bring it in, and they'd play it on the radio throughout the day. But one day I was hanging out with the college station's comedy show team, and they needed a voice to voice one of their comedy bits, and the particular skill they were looking for is a narrator who could pronounce the name of the village Plainview backwards. So I looked at it and said, I guess that'd be Web Yelp. And said, great, you're hired. So I was the announcer for that day, and that was fun. It was very cool. Heard by possibly 12 people, but still the first real gig.
Nice.
Unpaid, but still.
Oh, yeah.
mean, at least you had fun doing it, right?
Exactly, and it was essentially a very quick audition and a very quick booking. So I'll count that as the first gig.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Tonio, do you want to say anything?
Anything else? Mm, nah,
Yeah,
I got nothing right
Antonio
now.
was like a last minute
Yeah.
add on to this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, surprise.
Yeah. So what else?
Okay.
Kind of work did you do from like shows and stuff?
Let's see. I did a whole bunch of little movies that some people have seen. A Cat in Paris was one. I've got some theatrical type projects coming up in the near future. I've done some plush toys for Halloween and St. Patrick's Day by the Gund Company, available at fine stores almost everywhere. Um, I was, let's see, the Sonic gig has been going for 13 years now. We are currently in the Sonic Boom on Cartoon Network, as well as continuing releases of games. And I'm also doing all sorts of weird foreign dubs for films that, if we're lucky, no one will ever see because they're not always that great.
Oh.
But they need voices and they can't record themselves, so they call me.
All right.
Okay. How long has Sonic been around?
Sonic he's just turned 25. He started in 1991, and I joined in 2003.
Okay, I was thinking that. I was thinking somewhere around 25 years.
Yep.
Because I remember when I first started getting into Sonic was actually, I was staying night at my grandmother's house with my cousins in Harris. He came in with a Sega. He was like, "Here, you want to play some Sonic?" And I didn't even know what it was, and I just fell in love from it from there on a Sega.
Cool. Excellent. Yes, we've had a 13-year association so far, and I hope it continues for a while.
Same here. So did you voice, or who did you voice in Sonic Unleashed?
Let's see. I'm gonna have to Google that to make sure, because sometimes I miss out on the little characters I may have done. Hang on, I'm gonna visit the Sonic Wikia because that seems to know me better than I do. And if we look up, let's see. If we go to Sonic Unleashed, there should be an entire cast list. If I spelled it right, which I did, according to my resources. Sonic Unleashed was a game. Yeah, we know it's great. Credits. Hey, credit. Looks good. Let's see. Does that actually count? Here on the side. Composers, artists, designer. No. How about the credits for the Xbox 360 version? Well, that's not really helpful. All the Japanese crew, one of which wasn't me. There's a lot of people in this. Hang on, I'm just going to search my name on the page. That's easier. Oh, there I am. Yes, I was in that. It doesn't list who I was, but I'll just see if maybe it cross-references me from my listing. Credits. No, this isn't as great as I thought. Yeah, I did something in Sonic Unleashed. At least Dr.Eggman, if not more.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
I remember when first Sonic Unleashed came out, and I think I got it like the game in Christmas because we didn't have enough money to get it when it came out. I think I got it in Christmas, and I think a year after my brothers broke the game and I couldn't finish it, and I recently bought it trying to finish the game. So.
Well, cool.
Yeah. Antonio, want to say anything interesting? No.
The games I played from Sonic was like Shadow the Hedgehog, and that was like my favorite one from all of them. Besides Sonic Riders and all that.
Sonic Shadow the Hedgehog was my very first game.
Oh.
We started in 2003, and that was the first game that we had done. It was actually released in 2005, but we started recording it obviously slightly before then.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Cool.
I also played like on the Nintendo DSi. I played Sonic All Stars, and it was another Sonic game, but I can't remember the name directly from my head. But I remember me and Antonio, we used to play that like at recess, like towards the end of the school year.
Fantastic. I hope it didn't affect your grades in a negative way.
No, they were probably getting affected anyways.
Well, perfect.
So, do you have any like beginner tips for voice actors?
Make sure you've got some theater training. Get community theater, take some acting classes, because you've got to know how to react to actors who may or may not be there. So if you've got some stage experience behind you, you can kind of remember what it's like to respond to other actors, even though you're all alone in a room, dubbing your lines all by yourself.
All right.
And then put a demo tape together. Get some voiceover coaching if you can. The voiceover coach will help you make a demo. Send it around to folks that make cartoons and video games and commercials, and hope for the best.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to do like little internet voice acting stuff. I try to do like little
Nice.
auditions and stuff. So
Cool. Best of luck.
thank.
Yeah, he wants to. I don't know what specifically, like what company he wants to do. But I think he wants to
I'm
stick
all
to
over the
anime as
place.
well.
I'm all over the place. I like to do animations, and then I like for YouTube and stuff, and I voice my own little wacky characters, and I had like this little cartoon series of like Jed and Fred, and this character named Fred was like his voice was so high, and since my voice is so deep now, I can't go that high anymore, so it kind of sucks. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like between film work and like animations and voice acting, I really like grew into that, and it just interests me to do all that stuff. So it was like fun. So yeah.
So, like, I kind of want to be in voice acting and also like music. Like, I lived around music, and actually, my dad he works with a band called McGuffey Lane and Filter and the Dozers. They are a Columbus-based bands, but they do travel across the country, and they play nothing but like the Beach Boys or Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And I grew up with that, and from there on, music became part of my life, and I also like voice acting as well.
Cool.
Like sometimes if me and my friends were just in a random group call, I can do a Mickey Mouse voice okay. So
There's something to be said for that.
What was your best moment working on? Oh, sorry.
No, good. I was just going to say, welcome to the category of professional voice users. It's people who speak or sing professionally. Professional voice users. I'm sorry, your question.
What was it? Yeah, what was your favorite moment working with on Sonic X?
Probably when the first episode aired, because it was among the first big recurring roles in the series. So it was nice to record it, but it was very interesting to see what the reaction would be when the show had its sneak preview. The internet was not really as social media filled as it was now, but there were some message boards at the time, and I was able to go and engage people's reaction. Definitely a polarizing moment. People loved it, people hated it, but it was interesting to follow the progression after we started.
All right.
Oh, I got a question, but I'm gonna try to remember the voice actor for Sonic and Sonic X.
Okay. I can give you a hint.
Yes.
Jason.
I don't know the last name.
Jason.
What? Jason Griffin. What was it like to work with him, or if you ever bumped into each other?
Yeah, we did. Since we were dubbing, we tended to work separately, so I didn't actually meet Jason probably until a couple months into the production when we happened to be booked adjacently. Hey, there's a pun in there because it has the word Jason in it.
Ha puns.
Forget I said anything. But he was there and I was there. And said, "Oh, you're from the thing, and I'm you. Hey, great, great to meet you." I've worked with him in person a couple of times on other projects. Heck of a nice guy, and he does lots of on-camera stuff. So you can see him in all sorts of TV shows that are on now. None of which I can remember. Blue Bloods. He was in a couple episodes of Blue Bloods.
Oh,
Blue Bloods, I think.
Heard of that.
Is that the New York?
Yeah, because he's in New York, I'm in New York, and they shoot in New York. So if you follow him on social media, he'll usually post clips of him in shows.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, like, what's the show before Blue Bloods that's on there?
I'd have to look that up, and
I forgot. I think it's. Is it on NBC4?
I think Blue Bloods is a CBS show.
If it's probably I was like I watch NCIS, and I think that's what comes on after.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, I'm like I love NCIS. My whole family loves it. But I think Tails played by a girl in Sonic X?
Yep. These days, she is. Well, he is played by a girl. She. Um, and I think throughout most of his history, with the exception of one of the Saturday morning cartoons where he was a young boy, but the advantage to full-grown ladies playing little boys is that their voices don't change like a real little boy would. So one day, Tails would sound like this, and then the next day, Tails would sound like this, and that would be great.
Oh, yeah, that is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
What was like the very best moment in Sonic X? Like,
I liked moments when Dr. Eggman would break character and break the fourth wall and talk directly to the audience. I remember one moment where he took a phone call from a viewer, which is obviously impossible during a cartoon. But he was all of a sudden the phone rings and he just looked at the screen, answered the phone, and went, "Hello." Just found that very amusing. And also, what most people don't realize is that I played Ella the Maid in Sonic X as well. So I enjoy
Ella
surprising.
the Maid?
Yep, I was Ella the Maid.
Yeah.
So I enjoy surprising the heck out of people by telling them that.
I didn't even know that. I have on season 1, episode 24, and I didn't even know that.
See? There you go.
Wow. When I first saw Sonic X and stuff, it was on not CBS, CW for Kids.
Jetix.
Mm-hmm.
And I started watching it on there, and I forgot I don't know if it went through order, but I remember certain episodes from season 1 that I did see. I was like, hey, I did see that one.
Mm-hmm.
And sitting there, kind of going back in time and remembering watching it, sitting in my room, just Saturday mornings, just sitting there watching it.
Cool.
What was it like to voice act?
It was a thrill because Pokemon was such a big thing at the time. It's still a big thing, and whenever they call me in to do stuff, it's always fun, especially when it hits TV and people come alive on social media and say, "Hey, I heard you in Pokemon, go great!" So whenever they call me, which is not nearly as often as it should be, it's really cool.
What did you voice in Pokemon?
I was a couple of incidental characters. My first role in Pokemon was as a grandfather in an episode. Not really important to the plot, but I ran a carrier Pidgey operation, and my grandson was there helping me run the operation. And then it was a bunch of gym leaders and some villains. I narrated the series for a couple of years. I was one of the judges for some of the competitions, and just weird bit parts. Whenever they can squeeze me in, they do.
Cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So what is your very best moment, in all of your voice acting career? What was
when Sonic Boom premiered, which was the new Sonic cartoon, only because it was all done from scratch and it was really beautifully animated, and it was an ensemble record, even though most of the time we're working on opposite coasts, but that's okay. And it was, again, very mixed reactions when it premiered, but it's earned a loyal following. It just reached its second season premiere this past weekend, and it's great, especially since we record them maybe a year in advance before they're fully produced and airing. So I get to enjoy the jokes the first time through, and then a year or so later, enjoy them again when they finally hit the TV.
Oh, okay. Is Sonic Boom is CGI'd, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I can tell the difference from Sonic Boom and this of how clear and crisp Sonic Boom is. Then look at Sonic X.
Yep. And if you compare Sonic Boom Season 1 to Sonic Boom Season 2, Season 2 looks even a heck of a lot better than Season 1 does.
Oh, okay. So who voices in Sonic Boom completely?
Let's see. The main cast is Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, Travis Willingham as Knuckles, Cindy Robinson as Amy, Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails, and Nika Futterman as Styx, the new character. And then my two robots are voiced by Wally Wingert and Kirk Thornton as Robot in Cuba.
Okay.
And we all double up on various parts, but those are their main roles.
Okay. What type of commercials did you do?
All sorts of stuff. Most recent big campaigns was for Hooters, the popular restaurant with scantily clad women. I'm currently running for Scott's Lawn Care products around the country. Just did a series of short videos for Epicurious on their YouTube channel on the secret history of pasta and pizza and other Italian foods. All sorts of weird stuff. I've done pharmaceutical videos and medical videos for injectable drugs that I have no business injecting, but fortunately I just have to talk about it. I've done some secret military stuff, all manner of things. Never a dull moment in this business.
Wow. Have you? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. That was weird for my voice to do that.
Not a
Have you
problem.
like did any like specific commercials about like Sonic or Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, because usually if they need those, they'll just pull clips from the game. I've done some promos, I guess, for Sonic X when I was doing promos on 4Kids TV and the Fox Box, but none really, no real standalone stuff. I've done some live appearances for Sonic the last couple of years. There's a 25th birthday party, and I guess it would have been a 23rd birthday party thing a couple years back, and those are really cool because it's just a room full of Sonic fans and people that actually have some idea of who I am. So they're really interested in meeting all of us, and that's great fun.
Wow. Tony, you want to say some more questions about anything?
Nah. For now, I don't. I don't got
For now,
it
you don't?
in my head right now. No.
So, for like those events you were talking about, what was your best moment, like in like the changing type moments or best moment where a fan comes up and just like,
Sure,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of those, and I don't mean to lump everyone into the same scenario, but yeah, it's always great when really huge fans come up with a whole bunch of stuff to sign, and they bring like, obscure stuff, not just the Sonic stuff, but stuff from Ultimate Muscle, one of the first cartoons I did for 4Kids, or even one of the creepy rip-off films that I've been known to do, and I am happy to sign stuff with no shame. Always great to meet people who want to come and say hi. That's fantastic, and it's really cool when I get to do panels as well. Q&As, just all sorts of just like this, except with a whole bunch of people watching.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to Antonio earlier. I was like, "No, it would be funny if I just have like 6 people in a Skype call and I just invite you."
Oh gosh.
It's like I'll have like 6 random other people that I don't even know myself.
Cool.
I would do that, but I'm not big on YouTube right now. Actually, my YouTube channel was hacked about a year ago by a close friend, of course. She got mad at me, and she was like, "I'm going to get him back by deleting his channel and call him the S word face." And I was like, "Okay." I just changed my password and deleted everything.
Cool.
But when she changed my profile name, and actually deleted all of the videos I worked on.
That's not nice at all.
And it got rid of my subscribers, and I was like, "Oh well, I gotta start from the bottom now."
Good luck with that.
Yeah, but I'm mostly like big on gaming, like doing gaming videos. But
cool.
I was like my friend Antonio here. He's really into like voice acting, editing, making his own stuff, and I believe he has some type of show that he's working on with his friend, and he wants me to voice this one guy that has like one like muscular leg and one like awkward skinny leg.
It's just a little skit thing. It was a little funny little animation skit. That was all. It was like some show.
Fascinating.
That was it.
Voicing that, but I never got any word from if it's still continuing or what now.
Procrastinate. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. But do you work with any voice acting companies like Funimation or whatever?
I've done one thing for Funimation without being in their Texas facility.
Oh.
They were actually continuing a series that we started in New York, so they flew up to New York and recorded us here, which was convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm a freelancer, so I will work with anyone who wants me. I don't search out particular companies. I just am available for work for on-demand gigs like any good actor.
All
Oh,
right.
sweet.
So you work? Do you have a studio in your home or whatever? Or
Yep, got a home studio. I can do lots of auditions here. I can even book jobs from here. I prefer to go to a studio and record because then there's at least some engineer doing all the heavy lifting.
all
And I
right.
don't have to sit and watch levels and clean up the audio when I'm done. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've fully functional audio facility here and a travel gig. So if I'm going to a hotel for a weekend, I can bring a microphone and even record under some blankets and towels.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Like with my mic here, I don't have like a fancy mixing board. I wish I did. Like I said, my dad, he worked with bands. He was the audio engineer, and I kind of like audio engineering. But all I have is just this mic that's under probably $25, and my phantom power. That's it.
These days, you don't really need such a fancy setup. Digital technology will let you do
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
yeah. Like I'm used to um, not like using digital equipment. Like you see, like most people like that have a band, they use their iPod or iPhone or iPad for their audio, and I like doing things like what is that word? Instead of going digital, it's the opposite of digital. Um, it's gonna come to me sometime soon.
Analog.
Analog, yes. I like doing analog sound. You know, like having a soundboard sitting right in front of you, hooked up to everything.
Right.
Because you have more control over things that way than using an iPod, iPhone, or etc.
Sure.
So Antonio, do you have any more questions from here and stuff?
You worked in did you voice anyone in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, I was in three of the, well, I guess four of the Yu-Gi-Oh series now.
Oh.
I was in the regular Yu-Gi-Oh as Professor Arthur Hawkins.
Okay.
I was in Yu-Gi-Oh GX as Bonaparte, even though nobody watched it.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh Arc V as some mayoral candidate whose name I don't remember right now, but he was in for about 3 episodes. And I think in one of the other ones I played a security guard, pretty much a Hark, who goes there?
Mm-hmm.
But it was barely memorable.
That's cool.
Is it like hard, like being a voice actor and having a family at the same time?
Not usually, because most of the jobs, if I'm lucky, are during business hours when the kids are at school. Then I come home, and then the kids are home.
Okay. Is it like difficult when you have to travel to like a certain place, like from New York to California or from there to Texas?
If I do, it's just for a couple days. It's most of the time I can record remotely from wherever I happen to be. But for example, for Sonic Boom, we do some special behind-the-scenes stuff when we were working out the first 3 episodes of the show, and we got some behind-the-scenes videos. So they flew me out so we could all be all together as one big family.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually I'm flying out for that or for conventions, and it's always fun. Usually a little disruptive, but not unbearable by any means.
What was like the funniest moment, like at a certain convention with the whole gang being there signing stuff? Like, what was the funniest thing that happened?
I'm gonna. We did our script read at the 25th anniversary show, and that was just, we got to be on stage and perform live in front of an audience, which, as those characters, we hardly ever get to do, and it was just great hearing a live audience reaction to what we were doing.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. what is like the best thing a voice actor have or should do to become great, like getting the lead roles and stuff?
The best thing to do is get used to rejection, because most of the time you're going to audition for stuff and not hear back. So as long as you've figured out how to survive that, eventually the roles will reach you, and you'll get the big wonderful roles you're waiting for. But there are a lot of bumps along the road.
Okay. How did you? Let's see here. How did you find out about like the Sonic X, like their project and Sonic Boom? Like, how did you find it?
It started with making a demo tape. I made a demo. It was a cassette at the time, as I recall, and I sent it to the folks who produced Pokemon, which was 4Kids, and they booked me for an episode of Pokemon. And then they were starting to do their 4Kids TV thing, Foxbox, and they remembered me. They had me come back and audition for more stuff for that. And after working with them for a couple of years, one of the things that they brought in was Sonic X, and they were really interested in having me be part of the cast for Sonic X. So they had me audition and took a couple of rounds of callbacks before they convinced Sega that I'm the guy for them. And that's how it worked out.
Wow. Antonio? Okay, let's make sure you heard me.
When you come into a audition, what is the thing should I do to prepare for it?
You got to be prepared for anything. If you're lucky, before you go in, you'll get the specs of what sound they're looking for, the age of the character, some details about the character's personality. You may or may not get a script. If you do get a script, look it over, read it to yourself, try to figure out what it's supposed to sound like, what sort of sound they might be looking for. And otherwise, if you go there the first time you see the script, maybe when you walk in the door, just try and read it aloud to yourself quietly without disrupting anyone else. But read it to try and get the words feeling right in your head and feeling right around your teeth. And then go in with a couple of options. So if they don't like your first read, you can have something else prepared to go. But otherwise, get ready to play, because they just throw curveballs at you saying, okay, now he's a girl. How would that sound like? What? Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Have you ever like walked into a what? Wow, I just blinked out for a second. Like an interview for voice acting, and where they just like, here, give me your best shot, and just sat there, and they didn't even give you a script. Has that ever happened?
There was one time where people obviously had never done a voiceover audition before, and they expected me to come in with prepared material, which is usually not done for voiceover. I had a monologue that I had with me and had memorized from my stage work days, but it wasn't really any relationship to whatever they thought they were looking for, so that was kind of not helpful. But usually there will be some kind of a script, and it may not be the best written script because they're not quite done with it, but you'll have some type of script to work for.
You have like some type of idea of what's
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Like, let's see here. How should I say this? For recording, like, how many times do you have to get one thing right, or?
It's usually until the client is happy, so they prefer if you do it in 1 or 2 takes, just in the interest of time, because if everything takes 5 or 10 takes, you're there all day, and that doesn't make anyone happy. But in most cases, I could do 1 or 2 takes, but then there are some lines that are just more challenging than others, and you essentially do it till you get it right, but realistically, that's about no more than 5 takes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is there a specific Sonic X episode or storyline you enjoyed the most doing?
I liked one of the last episodes in the series where Dr. Eggman got to sort of have a tender, heartfelt moment with Everyone Hates Chris Thorndyke, and it was just fun to be able to turn down the villainy and play him like an actual caring human being. So that was a nice acting moment.
Okay.
Were there like any moments as you playing Dr. Eggman, it's like you kind of relate to it in a way? Like you connect with the character?
Oh, some of the screaming moments, especially when my kids get on my nerves and I find myself screaming very much like Dr. Eggman. Not proud of it, but
Oh no.
yeah, he can be very cathartic. If I go in a bad mood, yelling for 2 hours makes you feel a lot better mentally when you leave.
Yeah, I can see that. Antonio, Jackson just called me. He wants me to call him again.
Oh, too late. Where are you?
Yep, too late now, Jackson.
We're on.
He was the other person I was going to add to the call because he's a fan of Sonic, and I was going to have him into the call. He didn't answer my phone call at first.
Okay.
So, have you, as like anybody from like the Sonic fan, got confused of like you being Ella and Dr. Eggman?
No, usually most people are surprised to find out that I'm Ella, and that's great. If you can't tell it's me, then I'm doing my job.
Yeah, I never even noticed.
Perfect.
Have you ever played any Sonic games?
I'm not a gamer. My kids play the games and they seem to enjoy them, but I'm content to watch other people play the games.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Antonio's not freaking out over that.
They hire me because I'm a good actor, not because I'm necessarily a gamer or a fan of anything in particular. If they just look for people who are fans of the franchise, you might end up with lousy acting, and that's not going to be a good experience.
No.
Just like the medical videos don't require me to be a doctor.
That's true. Like for Mini Lad, he's not good at commercials or like making his own commercials, but he's like phenomenal at like playing video games and making it and editing. But voice acting and singing is not his strong suit. Because he tried to sing, what was it from the Beach Boys? Would it be nice if we were order? I think that's the name of it.
Right.
By the Beach Boys. Instead of singing it, he just screams it out loud for the video.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah, I can tell singing was a strong suit, but it was still an interesting Gary's Mod video.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. So I was about to say, what is your favorite like animation or cartoon show as a kid?
As a kid, it was The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. The animation was beyond crude, but that was part of its charm. But I was extremely impressed with the quality of the writing and the quality of the performances. And a lot of my acting today is driven by some of the same choices that the cast of Rocky and Bullwinkle made back in the 60s. Because they just had such a way with comedy. And it was the very same sense of humor that I have.
Have you ever like met the cast before, or
I spoke to them all on the phone when I was in high school.
well, that sounds like that was
was part of that was part of my high school radio thing where we were doing a show on the college radio station, and I got to collect sound clips of all the cast members for that show.
Wow. Have you ever like met like not met? Have you like done a show based on one of your childhood shows before?
No, not yet. I've seen some of the remade movies from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Those were not great, but no, I have not done any of the classic childhood franchises just yet. I was at one point auditioning for the sound-alike role for Mr. Magoo for a series of commercials, but that did not pan out. But that happens.
Would you like to do like a remake of the series in your lifetime?
I love working on anything, so I'm not picky. I mean, if a remake of a show would want me, then sure, I'd love to be part of it.
Okay.
Great.
Tonio?
What was your favorite character to voice?
I like the ones that make me laugh. So Dr.Eggman and Sonic Boom has made me laugh a lot. Meat in Ultimate Muscle with sort of his truck driver voice, just using the truck driver voice or any variation, which I've done for Meat from Ultimate Muscle and Bonaparte and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Big O Riki and Go-Go Riki. Just voices that make me laugh, characters that make me laugh are special. There's a special fondness there.
Okay. you like ever had like a weird moment like at any of those conventions, like just like a fan just awkwardly like far away, just staring and just nervous to come up?
That happens occasionally, but I had one of my most memorable experiences was at a fun fair with the family, uh, where we were relaxing, enjoying some frozen beverages, and some kid walked by with a giant Sonic Midway prize on his shoulders, and I just looked over and nonchalantly yelled out, "Look, it's Sonic!" And his
Oh.
head just whipped around. Had no idea where that was coming from, and I just went right back to my drink. Don't look at me. I'm just here having a drink with the kid.
that would be me, just to trick a kid. I can see me doing that. Have you like ever done any pranks on any of the casts that you worked with?
Not usually, because we're there. We're only there for about 4 hours at the most together. So it was not much time to have that kind of fun.
What type of equipment should one person have to practice on voice acting and getting good with it?
Most cases, a high quality USB mic is a great way to start. I happen to like the Blue Yeti. I have 3 of them. One for here, one for our vacation house where we visit on the weekends, and one for traveling around to hotels. A quiet space to record, like a closet full of clothes, is a great asset, so you don't sound like you're recording in the bathroom. And a decent computer.
Mine's just an HP. It's like a business computer. It's not really meant for gaming, so it runs really slow with gaming. But audio, it's really great.
Mm-hmm.
My mic is a BM800.
Sounds decent. That should be all you need.
A little cheap mic. It's not a USB, a regular headphone jack. I think it's like a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Regular headphone jack. And it works great with me. At first, I didn't know I needed to use phantom power for it, and I was like, yes, I can just plug it into the computer and work it. And it didn't work the right way, I was thinking. And then I had to buy this little thing. So what is it like to... Okay, I thought my phantom power unplugged itself. What was it like? What is it like to record into like a soundproof room, just you all alone with a script?
You're getting a lot of help from the director and occasionally the engineer, so you're not quite as alone as all that. But it's something you get used to. If you're lucky, you'll get used to it pretty quickly, as I did. The hardest part is self-directing when you're all alone at home, especially if it's for a client who will then have to listen back to it and say, that's not at all what we want to do it all again. So as long as I'm in a room with a director and an engineer and they can sign off on things while we're still there, then it's great. Occasionally they'll have me come back for a few fixes later, but much easier to record, at least with people who have some idea of what they're looking for.
Cool. Oh no. Oh, Chase, I can't hear you. Uh-oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
Oh, anyway.
my phantom power just unplugged itself.
There's your problem.
Yeah, I was like, it has this little blue light. If it starts fading, it unplugged itself.
Gotcha.
Have you ever like had somebody come up to you, like, for example, I go to a career center here in Ohio. I go to the Fairfield Career Center, and what sucks, they don't have like a voice acting thing class, which that really sucks. But they do have law enforcement and so on. But has like somebody from one of them career center type places, and they have like a job shadow. Has anybody like reached out to you before trying to do a job shadow or?
I've gone to my son's school and spoken for his theater class. That was fun, but it's kind of tricky because as a freelancer, I never know when I'm going to be working without more than a day's notice usually. So it's kind of hard to plan out a schedule for somebody to follow along because I often don't know what I'm doing until the day before.
Okay. I really have a lot of questions. Some of this are just popping out of my head randomly.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have started writing things down, but I didn't really You know, this is my first interview ever with somebody that's pretty famous voice acting and stuff. Antonio, do you have anything?
Are you as big a Sonic fan? Are you a big Sonic fan?
I'm obviously a bigger Sonic fan now than I was before I started when I didn't know much about him. I'm not a fan in the traditional sense because I'm not playing the games and I'm not spending every waking hour thinking about Sonic because I'm an actor working on all sorts of things. But during the time that I am being involved with Sonic, there is no bigger Sonic fan than I.
Me.
That's interesting. Have you ever been to like Ohio doing we do have something like Comic-Con down here, but I forgot what it was called. I think it's like comic book
We had one
fest.
convention. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I did a thing in Columbus for Free Comic Book Day one year and had a signing and meet and greet at one of the local comic stores, and that was fun. But that was just a one day, quick little thing.
Okay. Have you been to Comic-Con?
No.
Oh.
We did a thing in San Diego, kind of adjacent to Comic Con, and I was able to sneak in and buy some merchandise, but no real appearance within a Comic Con.
Okay. Do you have like any collectibles of Sonic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon?
I've got a big, rather large collection of Dr.Eggman stuff that I've collected over the years. It's not exactly as well organized as it should be at the moment, but
Okay.
there's lots of stuff there.
Sweet. Um, yeah, I was actually wondering. I think November and 11th and 12th for my school, it's like our job shadow thing, and I really have no job to shadow. And I was curious if I can shadow you through Skype since I can't really walk or drive to New York or in that sense.
I'd have to clear that with clients because most of the stuff that I record and am working on is somewhat confidential because
Okay.
it's not out yet, and the companies like to protect their proprietary information. So that's a much larger question than it sounds like on paper.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, just like here in Ohio, we don't have like businesses or jobs like that here.
Right. I'm going to guess you would have some type of community theater type thing. You could look at that. That's acting to some degree.
Okay. I think Groveport. Well, I go to Fairfield. This is kind of confusing. I go to Fairfield Career Center, but my home school is Groveport, and I go to Fairfield. I'll be um, getting my classes and my lab stuff there, but I'll be graduating through my home school.
Okay.
So I bet I can probably find something down there in Groveport.
Yeah, check for a community theater place around town. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't one.
Okay. I had a question. I just lost it. I hate when my brain does that. I hate when my brain does that.
Yeah, it'll
It's like
happen.
it's like when you go down to your kitchen and you want something, you're going to get something from your kitchen, but you completely figure out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when that happens.
Absolutely.
Has that ever actually happened to you before?
Oh, sure. That's a common thing. Human brains do that all the time.
Yeah. Uh, what was the what was the first video game you ever voiced in?
I guess it would have been the Ultimate Muscle video game. Not particularly memorable, but my character of Meat had a little role in it, so they had me come in and voice that.
What was it like to voice in the Olympic Games, Mario and Sonic?
It was much like recording any other game. I wasn't entirely sure what it was for. It was just most likely it was a page full of various reactions. Hey, whoa, yo, whoa, wah! And then they've been using those ever since.
Have they ever like took like from something from a video game and they have it like on a recording and kept? Have they like put that into like a show?
No, not
You
usually.
never.
They'll usually record those separately.
Okay. Tonio,
Mm.
you have anything?
Are you working at anything, any other projects besides Sonic Boom?
I'm always working on some type of project, but usually if it hasn't been released yet, I can't disclose what it is because I've got to maintain those corporate secrets.
Top secret information. I got you. Yeah. Guess I'm done here, Chase.
I guess we are.
Okay then.
Okay. If this Skype recorder didn't work, would you like to do like a podcast in the future?
Yeah, we could do
Maybe if my computer doesn't want to mess up like I think it is.
that. Sure.
Okay. So yeah, everybody, this is our little interview we just had here, and sorry for about my mic just getting unplugged. And this is Mike Pollock. If he would like to sign out by being Dr. Eggman, that would be cool. If you would
Sure.
like to.
Thanks for listening.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Well, see y'all later. Catch you on the next video.
Nice speaking with you. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you from Mike Pollock for doing this interview with, or Q&A podcast, whatever you want to call it, with me and Chase, and we really appreciate it. And we appreciate it also, you viewer, if you can hit that subscribe button and like the video. Come on, give it up for Dr. Eggman up in this video. And yeah. And also, if you don't mind, checking out my YouTube channel and my Twitter, Instagram. Follow that, and follow me on Twitter, buddy. And yeah, I appreciate it if you also subscribe to my boy Chase, who got this together. So, and subscribe to me because I edit the whole video. So yeah, I am awesome. So I'll check y'all later, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for y'all watching this.